Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pokemon Scarlet Violet. Yep, back to shiny hunting. However, we are actually going to be doing a little bit of a Toedscool hunt before we actually get into the shiny hunt for Cyndaquil again. So, let's turn on the recorder. There we go. I know the title is a little bit crazy. Yeah, by the way. But yeah, basically that's the plan. We're gonna be shiny hunting Toedscool. If we get both of the Toedscool, then we are gonna be going to shiny hunt Cyndaquil again. So we're just gonna basically be setting up picnics here because I noticed, hey, I got a Toedscool outbreak. I already did all of the 60 KOs, so we are already at maximum encounter odds. So hopefully we'll go through this nice and quickly, because I do know what the shiny looks like, and thankfully it's a very clearly visible shiny. So it's not like some of the others where it's a bit hard to tell. The entire thing is just like, oh, it's white. So it'll be fairly obvious when we find the shiny, if we find the shiny. Oh, what was the shiny one this time? What was this shiny? How did the shiny end up being failed? Did, like, it knock itself out? Let's go back to the shiny. Let's see what this. No. Yeah, the area for that Toedscool spawns in isn't that big, at least for this outbreak. But, I mean, again, we're still gonna hunt Toedscool. I would like to end up getting the shiny tonight, because that would be ideal. But how is everyone doing today, you wonderful, wonderful viewers out there? Nope. No sparkles. Set up a picnic. There we go. Picnic is made. Yeah, pretty much this is what we're just gonna end up be doing, is just picnic, 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 until we find the shiny, and hopefully we get it soon. But yeah, other than that, once we finish with this, if we finish with this today, we are going to be shifting gears and going back to the Cyndaquil hunt. Because I would like to finish at least one of those shinies before we get the next raid boss. Full odds, Venomoth in Area 0, Buzz. This one was a Venomoth. Interesting. Venomoth is a shiny that traumatized me. The only reason for that is I have phased on that thing so many times. I believe that is the single most frequent Pokemon that is in the shiny giveaway. That is going to be next week. It is freaking Venomoth. Yeah, Venomoth is... I mean, I did kind of bring it on myself by saying, yeah, Venomoth is probably my favorite bug type of the Gen 1 bug types. And then it just proceeds to infinitely sparkle. Venomoth. Wrong count. Nice. Oh, blah blah, welcome in. Welcome in, blah blah. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, how is everybody doing today? And again, guys, if you haven't done so already, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. We're just basically going to be running in circles today while we look for this tiny Toedscool. Again. We still need this one, but it's probably going to go over odds. First shiny Spidops failed, second Heracross failed. How'd the Heracross end up failing? Venomoth, all the similar results. They were all bug types. I did not hear about the Heracross. How did you fail the Heracross? Well, when did the Heracross? Oh, wait, was that the one that, like, ran off the cliff? Because I remember you said, like, one shiny ran off a cliff. What, was that the Spidops? Oh, no, wait, no, the Heracross was, like, on the edge of your area, and then it went outside of that, and that's when it despawned. Now I'm remembering about the Heracross. Shinies can despawn. There are certain shinies, like I know Silazar, if it is close enough to an edge, like a cliff, it can actually just run off the cliff and... Because it isn't programmed to, like, stop. It's programmed to just run around. So if it's too close to an edge, it can actually run off the edge of a cliff and then just despawn, because it runs outside the bounds of where you're supposed to be. So, despawns. Oh, I need to shiny hunt Silazar, because I've already failed one. I have already lost a shiny Silazar, so I need to do a redemption hunt. Is it just because Ting-Lu refuses to die? Is it just because Ting-Lu refuses? The funny thing is, Ting-Lu isn't even really that highly used. Like, it's... So many other things are used more than it, which I find hilarious. It's like, there's a lot of other stuff that's even more used than it. You're not shiny, are you? Just checking. Ting-Lu is one of the legendaries. It's one of the Ruins legendaries. It's the one that has the big bowl on the top of its head, or, as I prefer to call it, the Super Bowl. Because it's just a giant bowl on its head. Yeah. Again, the Super Bowl. Yeah, there is, let's see. Actually, what were the names that I called them? Because I had, like, snappy names that I called all of them. I can only remember, like, one of them, and I'm going to go check, because I was doing DMs with a friend of mine. Yes, Super Bowl, Icicle Face, Lava Fish, and Grass Car Go Fast. That is what I call them. Oh, well, that's what I called them when I was, like, first, like, touch trading them with a friend of mine. But yes, I have, like, stupid names for a lot of the things. Like Moongo Rar. Like, Moongo Rar is Roaring Moon. I mean, like, it's literally the Super Bowl, because it is a legendary that has a bowl on its head, and it's super strong. So, Super Bowl. It is literally the Super Bowl. I love it. Yeah, I expect Ting-Lu is going to end up being one of those things where it's really, really, really good right now, and then fast forward like 2 weeks from now, and people are going to find all the different ways of just cracking Ting-Lu into oblivion, and it's going to drop. But I don't know. Yet, at least. But again, guys, if you haven't done so already, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. How much longer we have on this sandwich? We still have... Okay, we got 8 minutes... Well, 7.5 minutes left on it. Well, 7.5 minutes into the sandwich. Nope, no Toedscool yet. This was one... that's Tinkaton. Tinkaton is the giant hammer bonk. I love that. Yeah, this gen had a lot of Pokemon that I just find amusing. And, in my opinion, that is really all you need for a new game. You don't need to introduce some of the most powerful things in a game. You don't need to introduce, like, these super meta revolutionizing things. You just need to introduce things that amuse us. And Tinkaton amuses us, because it is literally a tiny little pink angry gremlin that bonks everything into oblivion with a giant whack-off hammer. It's great. Yeah, I love how when I was talking about Tinkaton with one of my friends, they horribly misread how Tinkaton's Gigaton Hammer works. They thought Gigaton Hammer was like Hyper Beam. They didn't realize, because they thought, oh, Tinkaton's gonna be nothing. It's like, oh yeah, Gigaton Hammer. The recoil's like, no, you just can't use Gigaton Hammer the next turn. They didn't realize it causes a self-inflicted torment rather than it's a recharge move. And I'm just like, that's amazing. It's such a strong move. Given the Ultra Stamp. Exactly. Yeah, I like Tinkaton, and its only real weakness is that, yes, it doesn't have, you know, great offensive stats, but I think that was Game Freak learning from Mega Mawile, Zacian, that Fairy Steel is just a little bit of a broken type combination. Maybe you shouldn't give Fairy Steel type Pokemon insane offensive stats, because they have the best defensive typing in the entire series. And that's why they made Tinkaton a little bit more defensive and like kind of like a speedy wall, rather than like an all-out brute attacker, which I think was a good thing. Because like, Mawile is neat. Zacian gives me nightmares, and I am glad they nerfed that thing. And if they made Tinkaton like if they made Tinkaton basically a more tame version of Mega Mawile, basically if they made Tinkaton essentially what Mega Mawile is without huge power, I still think that would be a lot of problems. That thing would be insane. So what they did with it, I think, was a good thing, even though yes, it isn't really like too strong. It's basically like an anti-fairy type. It is a fairy type that excels at ripping apart other fairy types, because it's a steel fairy type, so it deletes opposing fairy types, because Gigaton Hammer is a little bit stronger. I love it. Still need to hunt one of you again, Knackstack. Hello there, Dragon Knight. Welcome in. Thank you very much for popping in. Glorious name right there. If you are new, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. We are presently shiny hunting Toedscool right now. When we get this shiny and we get a second one, because we are doing a living shiny dex, meaning we need to get one of every single shiny in the dex. I'm going to be switching back to hunting shiny Cyndaquil, because we are pretty much over odds very, very heavily on it. And I just want to get one of them before we get the next level 7 raid boss. Because I need to get most of those. Though thankfully I did get a shiny Ivysaur recently. So when and if, I'm pretty sure it's really more a matter of when at this point. When Venusaur returns, I'll need to hunt 2 of them. Yes, I have the shiny charm. I have the shiny charm, I have a Toedscool Outbreak, I have a Masuda Ditto, and I got the 60 KOs in order to get the maximum odds for this, as well as we are running a level 3 Sparkle Power Sandwich right now. So we are doing pretty well. Also, I should probably disconnect from the internet, because I want to preserve my Blissey raids. Because I need to keep getting those, very good Terra Shards for competitive. I still need to save those, because I do a lot of competitive grinding. And those Blissey raids give out so many Terra Shards. I love it. Hello there, hello Litsune, how are you doing? Welcome back in. Yeah, I have basically all of the optimizers for shiny hunting, because I do enjoy shiny hunting. But also, I enjoy getting my shines quickly. But we will be doing a full odds shiny hunt. Well, actually, technically we're going to be doing several full odds shiny hunts. But I have right next to me my handy dandy Soul Silver version. Because one of our longest running shiny hunt is a shiny Ho-Oh hunt via Dynamax Adventures. Presently, I'm at over 650 Dynamax Adventures for that thing. Still haven't gotten a shiny in my Shield version. And I have the shiny charm in Shield version. So I'm 6.5 times over odds. And one thing I just thought of was, you know what would be funny? If I went back to Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and I shiny hunted Lugia, and just compared to see if Ho-Oh takes more time to sparkle than Lugia at full odds. So, we are at some vaguely defined, oh yeah, 650. Yeah, I've been doing them off screen, Litsune. Ever since my birthday stream, I was like, you know what, we're gonna do these off stream. Because when I do them off stream, I do them solo animations off, and I can blow through a single DA in like less than 10 minutes. So pretty much what I do is, I end off stream, I have a pretty sizable recorded content bank for, like, the next 2 weeks. So, like, you guys know that, like, I have the next, like, 6 episodes of A Link to the Past recorded. I have the next 3 episodes of Splatoon 3 recorded. And the entirety of the Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe series is already finished being recorded. So I don't really need to record any stuff later tonight. So I can just bash out, you know, a whole bunch of Ho-Oh Dynamax adventures. Oh, trust me. Trust me, it's bad. At the very least, Ho-Oh is a relatively quick Dynamax adventure. Because this is how I do solo DAs. If there are no rock types in the opening lineup, as in, you know, I do not get a rock type myself, or there are no rock types in the pathing, or, you know, there's no good physical water types, like, say, the Adaptability Basculin, I will target the NPC allies Pokemon, deliberately put us into losing matchups to knock us out quicker, because it is faster to knock ourselves out than it is to go try and fight Ho-Oh, lose, get booted out anyway. You know, if it's something like, yeah, we have a 25% chance of beating Ho-Oh, but it's gonna take you 10 minutes to do this. Okay, I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna go KO the thing and just reroll for another one. And as I just keep doing until I get, like, good pathways. Welcome back, Bubbly. Oh, trust me. We've been hunting Ho-Oh for over a year. It's been actually a year and a half at this point for Dynamax Adventures. It's been a long hunt. Technically, the Poipole Shiny hunt in Ultra Sun is longer. Technically, it's longer. However, I planned to Shiny hunt Poipole, you know, 5 years ago. But I didn't start, well, not 5 years ago, 4 years ago. I planned on hunting it 4 years ago, but I didn't start hunting it until a few months ago. So, I don't really consider that as long, because I knew I was gonna hunt it, but I didn't start hunting it. Litsune is kind of annoying to the point where Litsune might... I understand, Litsune. I understand. Yeah, this actually is not my first account. This actually, my first account was a video, it was a, like, movie review channel, and I, like, just stopped doing that one because reasons. Mostly because, kids at my old high school actually discovered the account, and, you know, were kind of making fun of me. So, I just ended up deleting that channel. Do I regret doing that? Heck no. Not exactly the most thrilled about that old channel. So I'm kind of glad I deleted it. I much prefer this channel. So honestly, if I kept that channel, I never would have actually done this. And I don't think I actually would have been as motivated to continue doing stuff. So, every decision leads to a better thing. So glad no one's cool from my own sketch. Yeah, I was kind of the school punching bag, metaphorically speaking, when it came to high school and middle school. So I'm not surprised that they found it. I mean, I had a few friends, but, you know, not many, and honestly, like, I discovered a few years later that, you know, 3 of my, like, 7 friends were actually formerly gaslighting me, so not fun revelations. But, yeah, I mean, it kind of comes with the territory of being... There's the Toedscool! There is the Toedscool! Oh my gosh, right as I'm talking about the dramatic backstory of the Metamaxis, we find the Toedscool! Get back here, you stupid mushroom! So I may get you respagas. I like this thing. I like the silly mushroom. I enjoy the very, very silly mushroom. Yeah, the ball. I do like the shiny, though. I very much like this type. It is exactly Squidward. See, this is the thing that makes the Toedscool family just very amusing for me in my own brain, is imagining any time it steps, it just makes, like, the Squidward... It just... Imagining any time Toedscool steps, or Toedscool steps, it just makes, like, Squidward sound effects. That just infinitely makes this more amusing. And I love it. It's like, I love this thing. Honestly, Toedscool is one of those Pokemon that I am so glad I discovered organically. And one of my friends, like one of the people that actually got me into shiny hunting, also voiced the exact same opinion, where if they saw Toedscool and Toedscool just, you know, in like a list of Pokemon when looking at, you know, that's one of they actually actively avoid leaks, is if they saw Toedscool and was like, oh, that's a Pokemon, that's kind of dumb, they wouldn't have liked it. But seeing it organically and seeing Toedscool just like freaking pogo jump around, it just made that thing so amusing to them that it's like, this thing probably is like one of my favorites in the region now. It's like, that is the reason I actively avoid leaks when it comes to new games. Because I want those organic discoveries of just, yeah, I really like this thing because it's just silly. Exactly like Toedscool. And that is a capture. Let's go. Used to have a friend who got bullied so much. Yikes. Yeah, I mean, I definitely had friends in high school, so like not everyone picked on me, but it was like kind of like most of them. It was kind of a thing. Alright, so that was the first shiny down. How long we... Timid Nature... Okay, no... Okay, it does not have a mark. Yeah, it doesn't have a mark, right. But we got one of them. One of two. Yeah, see, I used to be a lot more timid. I did not really have, like, the spine to stand up for myself, so it was I'm not proud of younger Maxis. I mean, there's a number of things about younger Max I'm not proud of, and like I have actively said before, if I could time travel back, I would actively punch myself in the face because I do not like the person I used to be. Like, young Maxis deserve to be punched in the face. Either that, or from the out-of-body switching sound from Cell Dragon Ball Z makes when walks around. Never seen Dragon Ball Z, so I have no idea what that sound is. It just, I don't know. Toedscool and Toedscool just give off very Squidward vibes for me, which is why it just makes it more amusing to imagine whenever they do that running sound. It just makes like Squidward walking sound effects. It just amuses me. Hey, Polytoad, how are you doing? Can one of the mods please go grab Polytoad's link? Cell has this very unique sound effect that I use for his footsteps, like Squidward. Interesting. But yeah, I just imagine like Squidward walking sounds play whenever the Toedscool family run, and it just makes them so amusing. And also, I actually really like the ability they gave the Toedscool family. I know a lot of people, like, they don't like the way Mycelium Might works, because, like, well, it's a very fast Pokemon, but it makes Spore always go last. That's why I actually like it. Because, despite making Spore always go last when it uses it, you can Spore Goldengo. Because its ability allows it to bypass, you know, good as gold. Doing well, my newest video is blowing up, and actually very proud of it. I'm doing very well. Channel has similarly been blowing up lately. Short's been doing extremely well. Like, to put in perspective how well the channel has been doing, looking at the analytics, looking at the analytics, you know, okay, last, you know, your 28 day subscriber, like, recap, essentially, sort of thing, like, well, your last 28 days, you know, that whole analytics thing, the last 6 days account for almost half of my subscriber gains in the last 28 days. So we have been doing extremely well, and this is me. Before I say it, knock on wood, because I am superstitious. Me, saying knocking on wood before I say this is, I think we have turned the corner on growth for the year. This is the thing that I noticed last year at around this time, was growth for the channel started picking up like mid-late April into May. And it was like sustained high volume channel growth for like 3 months solid. It was like extremely good channel growth. And then it sort of, started to slow down a little bit because, the school year started and everything. And I think we might have turned that corner where we're getting back into that range of like really, really, really good channel growth. Because again, the growth ratios are kind of lining up with how they were last year. So, if that's the case, channel is going to be doing a lot better this summer, which I'm really hoping for, which is again why I did, jinx, knock on wood, because I am superstitious like that. Nice! School's almost done. It's always good when school is almost finished. I have nothing but not good things to say about school. The only good things I have to say about my college was I'm glad I'm at the Penn State Pokemon Club, and that's basically it. Other than that, nope. We'll be done with forever. Exactly. Being done with school forever is always a delightful thing. School deserves to be defenestrated and thrown into a blender and forgotten about for all time. School sucks. Meanwhile, as I just have Schools Out just playing in my brain, is a great, great song. I feel that at every college graduation, Schools Out should be mandatory to have played over, the speakers. I think that is mandatory. Shiny Toedscool is, just pure white. I can actually show you when we set up our next picnic. Because we have one in our party. We actually got one of them now. We got one of them. We now just need to go for the second one. Yeah. You'll be able to see it right here. Yeah, it's just pure white. It's like the little thing flopping around with the sleepy things coming out of its face. So yeah, we're doing pretty good with our shiny hunt for Toedscool. We have 3 minutes left on our first sandwich, which again, we got one shiny, which is realistically all we need for a single sandwich. So let's try and get the second one. I don't think we will, but we've had good luck in this area before when it comes to shinies. Did I Pokemon Scarlet? I wouldn't know. Yeah, we're doing a shiny Living Dex Politoed. So we need to get one shiny Toedscool, then we need to get a second tiny Toedscool to evolve into Toedscool. Because again, we are doing a living shiny dex. Which is something I generally don't regret, but then I think about things like needing to shiny hunt Poipole twice, needing to hunt type Null twice, and then I just kind of die internally remembering full odds shiny hunts suck an egg. Because yeah, even if you get the shiny charm, that doesn't actually help you with Poipole, it doesn't help you with type Null, and it doesn't help you with fossil revivals, because all of those are gifting counters, which means the way they are rolled is actually different. So, a little bit of suffering incurred. Yes, exactly like with Let's Go. I'm probably gonna do some of my shiny hunting in Let's Go. Once I finish wrapping up the Master Trainers, I'll be doing that. But yeah, for those who don't know, yeah. Oh, nice gaming computer. No. The only thing that's in the raids right now is the Blissey raids that are still going on, which is why I disconnected from the internet, so I could preserve the Blissey raids for, like, future competitive grinding materials, because I am an avid competitive battler, and I need to be changing Terra types quite frequently, which means you consume a lot of Terra shards, which means I need to beat Blissey up frequently to get more Terra shards out of it. So I am going to be saving those raids for future stuff and things. 40 seconds left. Yeah, no, the next raid event is going to be next Thursday. I'm kind of surprised we haven't gotten an announcement for the next Terra raid thing. Though I do know that Walking Wake and Iron Leaves are going to be coming back in Terra raids soon, which is good. Also. Sandwich is still real. We still have a few seconds left of the sandwich. Okay. We'll do one more reset and then we'll go check our Porto Muranata auction house things. Because, yeah, for those who don't know, the Porto Muranata auction house is how you get the rare Apricorn balls and a few other useful things for competitive, which is why I like using them. But right now... Okay. Well, we got one shiny. Not everyone got them, Lucas. Not everyone did. Because there actually was a glitch where it was possible the game would... Where if you tried doing the raids, but you didn't have the game updated, you would not be able to catch them. Because it would register as a bad egg, and it was an egg you could never get rid of. So, it could lock people out of being able to get Walking Wake and Iron Leaves, which is likely why they're doing the redo for it. Because, you know, people were unable to get it. You gotta remember, Lucas, even if we already got, you know, things, that doesn't mean everyone did. Which is why I love that they actually do these sort of, like, rerun things, where, you know, it gives people a chance to do things. Also, can one of the mods please go drop Ash's link, !Ash, please? When's Snivy coming to the game? So let's play online. Not sure, Polio. The thing is, just because there's a sprite online doesn't mean it's confirmed, because they actually made a lot of those menu sprites for everything. Those are menu sprites that were strictly added to make the UI in Pokemon Home completely consistent. So they did every Pokemon in the style of, like, these menu icons. Like, yeah. They did every Pokemon in the style of these menu icons for Pokemon Home, purely for the sake of consistency for when Pokemon Home comes out. But we don't actually know how many of them are coming in, though. I am pretty sure that... Because the thing is, if you look at a number of them, they have things like the Primals. You know, Primal Groudon, Primal Kyogre. These are things that cannot exist in those menu boxes. They do things like that for bug testing, but likely Snivy is going to be returning. They of course, put Samurott in the game. I'm pretty sure that, like, Snivy and most of the other stars are actually going to be coming back. Yeah, I mean, again, that's just hypothetical. But it's like, it would make sense for them to, like, bring them back. But yeah, I expect that most all of the starters are going to be coming into the game, but we don't know when. Only starters that have not been doesn't have a switch, they're coming back soon. I forget about... No, there's other starters that haven't come in. Delphox and Delphox and what's the other final thing? Chestnut, Delphox and Chestnut have not come into the game as well. So they have also not been on the Switch, because they were not in Sword and Shield. There's been others. Yeah, they haven't been in the Switch either. Hello there, Best. Welcome in. And again, guys, if you haven't done so already, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. We already got our first shiny Toedscool. We are heading back to Toedscool Outbreak to do our next outbreaks. Oh, so Charmander, Squirtle. Okay, man, let's go. Yeah, I know. But I'm saying that the Chespin family and the Delphox family have not been in the games as well. They weren't in Let's Go, because I mean, Let's Go's all the Kanto stuff, and they weren't in Sword and Shield. There are two other starters besides the Unova ones that have not been in any of the Switch games. Okay, well, there we go. That's no sparkles on those. I will delete these later. So I'll just go through a mass purge later. There you go. Pretty sure I put it in this one. Yes. There you go. You're coming with me. Take that up to 880. But since that is done, we'll go hide those. We're going to get back here. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the Kalos starters weren't in Sword and Shield either. So there are two other starters besides Tepik and Snivy that have not been in the game yet. There we go. Save the game. And, what's its name? Yeah, Typhlosion, Feraligatr, and Meganium were in BDSP, as were the Sinnoh starters. That's why the only that haven't been in are the Generation 7 ones, the Generation 6 ones minus Greninja, and the Generation 5 starters minus the Samurott. Do we trade eggs with eggs? Is there a way to trade eggs with the eggs you already hatched during the outbreak? But I still need to trade them. That's the thing, Luz. I would still need to trade the eggs. And I don't do egg hatches during outbreaks anymore because it does slow down the entirety of the shiny hunting process. That's why I don't do that anymore. Ham, and then any Urban Mystica. Go. There we go. Pickle. Cucumber. Ham. Yeah. Ham is a bit of an annoying ingredient to work with because it can kind of lay like that and make a little bit of a slope that stuff can kind of fall off of. But we got it good. I was asking, for me, is it... Yes, it is possible to trade them. It is possible to trade eggs. Fennekin and Chespin have not been released in the game yet. People got those in by hacking. You could only have gotten Chespin and Fennekin by hacking or trading with someone who did hack them in. They're not legally available. Technically, everything is in these codes. Like, Mewtwo and stuff is in the code. Doesn't mean you can legally get them. That is a little different. Because even Pokemon that were not released in Sword and Shield were still in the coding. Yeah, a lot of Pokemon that were not released in Sword and Shield actually still existed in the coding of the game. So I wouldn't say just because they're in the coding does count. But I'm pretty sure that the other ones are also still in the game's coding as well. You stack the ham into two little piles, and then we've got them at the top. I need to do cucumbers and pickles as well. Let's see. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Snivy I'm pretty sure has code. Really, it doesn't have code in the game yet. Let's go Gen 7. Interesting. Fascinating. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that they are going to be bringing in the other starters eventually. Likely the reason why they haven't updated the game to include data from them is actually for the exact same reason that, well, they realized, oh, people are going to be getting them just by genning them into the game. So just stop doing that until release. That's what they did with Iron Leaves and Walking Wake. They didn't actually add them to the coding until they were going to be released. Yeah, exactly. They realized after... Well, the thing is with Caldex, that was a DLC edition. That's a little bit different. But with the other things, as soon as they added the update that included those Pokemon in, people started genning them into existence. That's why they didn't include, you know, Walking Wake, Iron Leaves, and then, like, presumably the other members of those Paradox families until they're going to be released. Because they know people are going to just start genning them into existence the second the coding is released. Which is actually very smart on their part. Also, is that a shiny? No, it is not. Yeah, the reason why the coding hasn't been updated is, well, because they know people are going to be people and gen them into existence. That's what they did with the other starters. You know, the second that they added in... What was it? Ninja. First they added in the other starters from Kalos. And then people just started genning them and putting them out there. It's kind of their way of keeping people from genning. Which, as someone who adamantly hates genning, there's the shiny, let's go! And that is our second shiny of the family. We are now finished with the Toedscool family. Let's go! Yeah, that's the reason why they haven't added them in. Is because they know when they add them in, they'll just start genning them. So leaving them out is really the best thing they can do. Yeah. Again, guys, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. And that is the Toedscool family finished. Toedscool is now sleeping. Toedscool is sleeping. Hey, nice, Rosie! Very nice. Get in the ball. Get in the ball. Let's go. And with that, the second member of the Toedscool family has now been acquired. I do know that there are a few Pokemon I still need to shiny on that are ground type. So, we are going to switch gears in shiny hunt Diglett. Because I do need to shiny hunt Diglett. Because I have a Doug Trio. I don't have a shiny Diglett yet. So I'm going to go shiny hunt Diglett now. How are you doing, Braidstar, though? Also, I'm at 1%. I'm bad for using Discord up, Mama. Why? Why is your mom banning you from using Discord? No, it's not an Australian accent. I'm American. I am 100% red, white, and blue-blooded American. See? American shirt. America. We are just looking for the blue nose on Diglett right now. So let's go look for the blue nose little mole thing. Like, what in the heck is Diglett even supposed to be? Because, like, I don't... Like, what is Diglett supposed... Like, is shiny Diglett's nose blue? Let me check this. What does Diglett's shiny look like? I need to check this. Yes, Diglett's shiny is blue nose. Okay, so we are looking for a blue-nosed mole. So it is the same thing as what Doug Trio's shiny is. Not fun, but it should at least be easy to find. Well, relatively easy. Blue nose, no blue nose. Yes, blue. Diglett is a mole. I mean, I wouldn't say it's exactly simple, because it literally just sticks its head out of the ground. You can't really see more of it than that. Cyndaquil. Also meta, dude. I don't think event raids count for the 6-star unlock. I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that, but I'm not sure. Which is why I would recommend you check. But from what I have heard, I don't think so. I see. It'll be 2 hours to get shiny Diglett and let's go Pikachu going up and down the ladder. You didn't use the catch combo? You didn't use your catch combo for that one? Because I actually got shiny Doug Trio via just complete accident when I was just doing my Gibble shiny hunt. Privately Gibble shiny hunt. Oh, you did? So you got your 6-star raids by doing the Blissey event ones? Okay, I did not know that. Interesting. That is new info. Thank you, Mudkip. That's actually very useful information. Well, the thing is, you need to continue the catch chain. Just having a catch combo of whatever number does not increase your shiny odds. It only increases the shiny odds of the next spawning in Pokemon. So you need to... So, it's their way of preventing, okay, you go catch up to, like, 32 Pokemon, and then you just stop catching stuff. You do need to continuously keep catching that Pokemon over and over again to maintain the odds. Because otherwise, everything else will just have, like, full odds normally. The next Pokemon spawned in is the only one that has the boosted odds. Which was, I think, was a good thing that they did. Because it actually means, like, yeah, you can't just stack up, like, 100, like, 30 encounters and then just, like, walk around. You need to keep catching. Which is why a lot of people still don't actually realize that. No blue nose. No blue nose. Because I forget who made the video. But someone did make a video saying, like, yeah, no, this is actually what it was. So when did you... Like, last year or something? Like, a driver or something made a video about it, like, last year. Yeah, there's a video about that. I think it's like A-Drive made a video on it. I think A-Drive. Yeah. Basically, you only get the boosted encounter chances if you are actively catching something. The next thing spawned in has the as the shiny odds boosted. I hate my allergies. I hate springtime. I don't have bad pollen allergies, but I just have allergies to pollen. And it basically just makes me sneeze a whole lot. Only found that out because I figured... But yes, it only affects the next spawn encounter. So you need to continuously catch Pokemon to maintain that catch combo. Which is why a lot of people don't realize that. So it could be that you may not have been maintaining the catches. I don't dislike shiny hunting in Let's Go. I think it's actually quite interesting. The only issue is, Let's Go's catch mechanics are not the greatest. Like, there are times, because I'm still doing my preparations for all the Master Trainers in Let's Go. There's times, I have, like, the Joy-Con, and I just, like, just do this. And, like, the ball goes to one side, or it goes to the other side. I'm throwing it just, like, straight, and it just keeps going in every other direction other than the way I want it to go. So... the reason is, that's why I prefer, if I'm going to just do catching things for leveling stuff up, just do handheld mode. It's so much better and easier than just doing, like, fighting with the actual gyro system. I don't like happening. Yeah, that makes sense. Phasing is annoying, but the good thing is, if you're doing, shiny reactions for shorts, which I recommend doing shiny reactions for shorts because they have been really helping my channel grow, Shiny reaction shorts are always very good, and, especially if they're phases, but also, you can do a shiny giveaway of any of the phases you have. Because, like, we've phased so many times on, you know, shinies that, well, a lot of the action I've accumulated, I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway of them. Actually, next week is the giveaway. So, if you want to be entered for the giveaway, don't forget to subscribe. But yeah, that's pretty much the plan. Fortunately, the way I'm playing, unless I don't already have the shiny phase, I'm not allowed to catch any phasing. Interesting. Oh, so that's like a personal self-imposed rule? Yeah, I'm like, okay, shiny, I'll just catch it anyway. Yeah, I don't have, like, self-imposed rules like that. Makes sense, yeah. But that's the reason why is like I do what I do is like again trying to react to drugs. That's why whenever I'm doing my Ho-Oh Dynamax Adventures, which for those who don't know, I am 6.5 times over odds on my shiny Ho-Oh hunt. Where anytime I am like finish a Ho-Oh DA, I will turn on my my replay buffer just in case I get a shiny. So I can just capture, like, again, a shiny reaction if I have one. If it doesn't, okay, well, it doesn't consume any space. I don't have to delete anything. Yeah, not an ideal place to shiny hunt Diglett, but I'm pretty sure it's, like, the only place to actually shiny hunt Diglett where you don't get spawn interference. For the record, what spawn interference is my term for when I am shiny hunting a Pokemon, and the sandwich gives encounters for a Pokemon of the same typing in the same area that is not of the target. So, hunting, you know, Diglett shiny in the cave underneath Alfornada, that has spawn interference of the Gible family. Because you have the Gible family, which is also a ground type, in that same location. Hunting Roaring Moon, you always get spawn interference from like the other dark types or the other dragon types in the same cave. That is that's spawn interference. Which is why when it comes to certain shinies, I will actively go out of my way to find a place that does not give spawn interference. Oh, I've gotten a great number of phases, Mudkip, for shiny Ho-Oh. I think since starting to do them off screen, I've gotten maybe 7 phases on Ho-Oh. Like, the shiny Ho-Oh hunt is a whole different definition of pain. I mean, again, it's also the reason I decided to take that, you know, off, you know, the viewing thing. Like, that's why we're not doing Ho-Oh DAs as, like, regular streams. Because it kind of lost a lot of its fun. Once we hit, you know, 5 times odds on Ho-Oh, a lot of the joy for doing them in streams kind of was sucked away, which is why I just do them off stream now, because I can mash my way through, you know, a good 100 or so DAs of Dynamax Adventure Ho-Oh in, you know, not, you know, in like a week. You know, so I can basically knock out 100 of them in a week, you know, just like in the spare time I have after streams before I go to sleep. You know, knock out, what, like 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. I can do that pretty easily. Kill you. The funny thing is, I actually, like, got a Weedle shiny before I was even doing the shiny living dex, and I got a shiny Beedrill. So, I need to hunt 2 more of them. But yeah, I have a few of those shinies already. I got a few shinies in the course of just Let's Go grinding both levels, but also grind the necessary candies for Pokemon in Let's Go. So I have a few phases. Oh, I just dislike Megas. So no, I'm not going for Megas because Megas do not count toward the living dex because Megas are in battle transformations only. They're not an out-of-battle thing. Megas don't technically exist out in the PC. So, like, you can't store a Mega in Pokemon Home, because they're in battle transformations only. Yeah, no, I needed to get a Beedrill for, yeah, 'cause I needed to go look for one for the nature. So I was like, okay, I'll go look for Beedrill. I'll go get a Weedle. Got a shiny Weedle. And, that's kind of where I got that one from. But yeah, I'm looking forward slightly to doing... Those were important to Game Freak? No, I actually have a hypothesis about why Megas, like, were that. But the thing is, Megas were probably dropped because they realized they weren't actually being good for the community. You gotta remember, when it comes to something like Megas, they were designed for older audience appeal. And likely they realized they're not going to get long-term player retention from Megas, and what they do actually, at worst, is actually risk completely alienating newer players. Because why would newer players get invested in, like, you know, the new Pokemon region ads when everything about the games is screaming, don't care about the new Pokemon, have you heard of Charizard? Have you heard of Lucario? And it basically promotes the attitude of, like, not really wanting players to care about the new stuff. The other part is the devs seem to want to step away from, like, the old... They seem to want to be, like, you know, a new super mechanic every single generation because it gives each of the games diversity, rather than, like, okay, well, you can have Megas, Z-moves, Dynamax, and Dragons all in the same games. You know, they want to seem to move away from every single gimmick as time goes on, which is why I really hope they just stop with the gimmicks. I really would love if Gen 10 is just back to simple basic Pokemon like Black and White. Like, if they do that, I'm happy. Exactly, Polytoad. That's the reason why I loved when they did BDSP. Like, BDSP, no Dynamaxing, no Megas, no Z-moves. It's no crazy out of left field mechanics. It's just regular battles. I love this. Yeah, I do hope, though, that they do... I mean, terrestrializing is by far the most tame super mechanic. It is competitively the most balanced. Which, for me, I'm okay with. Because, again, I'm all about that competitive. I am all about that competitive balance. And, you know, terrestrializing is the most balanced of all of the, you know, the gimmicks they have added in. So, you know, I can... It's not terrible. I was actually very worried before Generation 9 came out that, you know, we were going to get, oh, Swift, Swim, Terra, Water, Rain teams, which we didn't. You know, it's like, I'm actually very glad that, like, they actually weren't as terrifying as they could be. Because really, the worst terrestrialization, like, the most broken, in the kind of glowing air quotes, terrestrialization exploit was terrestrialized Steel Goldango again next to Murkrow for just spamming Make It Rain. But, like, even then, you take out the Murkrow, and then it just kind of nerfs itself into oblivion. So, yeah, it's really not that bad. I liked terrestrializing. I really like what they did with it, but I think I would prefer if there was no super mechanic. So, I'm really hoping Generation 10 is, like... I don't like saying back to basics, but I guess that's the best way of phrasing it. Like, back to the style of battling that Generation 4 and Generation 5 had. Because, like, it's simple. But, you know, it's simple, but there's still a lot of complexity too, because this is one of the things that actually one of my friends was talking about a bit earlier with me, is that Pokemon is such a complex game in terms of all the different strategies, everything you can do. You know, there's so many status moves, so many setup moves, so many interactions between abilities, moves, stats, and items, and everything like that. And the games are already really complex as is. Adding in, you know, these super mechanics really stirs that up even more, and, you know, kind of makes it a bit harder for, you know, newer players to really get a foothold in things. Probably not gonna happen. I mean, the closest we ever got to Ben 10 with Pokemon was Mega Evolutions becoming basically the things from Ultimate Alien. I would not, I mean, Pokemon, I would say, is relatively, depends on the game. We actually did an entire series on Pokemon difficulty analysis. But what we mean is, like, the strategies you can use in Pokemon are very complex, you know, Trick Room, Tailwind, status moves, debuffing, Reflect, like, there's a lot of complex strategies and a lot of move interaction that things have. That is what is complex. And there's so many different ways you can do things with it. That there's just, like, a lot of things you can do with it, and you having, you know, super mechanics really adds that complexity. It makes it a lot harder for people to, you know, to get familiar, I guess, is probably the best way of phrasing it with the games. Was one of the reasons why, like, I hope that we don't get, you know, more super mechanics, because it does make it harder for newer players to access them. And, you know, you guys know me. I'm all about that competitive access. I am all about wanting new people to do competitive. So there is that, which, I mean, I'm also just looking forward to seeing what, like, you know, the games have forward. Like, I hope that I guess I don't even think I'm looking forward to what the DLCs are gonna bring, because in the end, I would rather have a DLC than that's, you know, $30, or, well, a little more than $30, like $35, than need to go buy Scarlet Violet 2. That is a full-priced game. So, even if the DLC isn't, like, you know, super duper great, I would rather have only paid, like, $35 for the DLC than, you know, pay for an entire, you know, new game full price over. So, oh, I love the Unova games. I love the Unova games. In terms of, like, gameplay-wise, I think Unova was peak. Like, it... Basic, you know, like, it's basic Pokemon. You know, no crazy super mechanics. But it's still very complex. Oh, pretty much. Still $5 cheaper. Wait. What? Can you explain that, Politoed? Pokemon White version was less expensive than Pokemon Black version? What? They were the same price for me. That's weird. Of course, it's Arena Trap. Of course, it's stupid Arena Trap. I hate this thing. Just go away. Get incinerated. Get out of the queue. What have we got? We have 7 minutes left on our sandwich timer. Yeah, black version was $30 of Pokemon. Was that new, or was I assume that was used? I assume that wait, that was new? No way. Those games were like $45 when they first released. Where the heck were you where they were only $25 and $30? How? How? How did you get it? I pre-ordered those from GameStop and they were $45. How did you get it for $30 and $25? Explain your secrets. Also, welcome in, Mr. B-Rad Raid. How are you doing? Welcome in, Oathkeeper Bry. Welcome in, Price. Welcome in, guys. Can one of the mods, if they are here, please go grab Master B-Raid's link, please? But what were you streaming? How did it go? I hope it went well. Hello there, Bry. How are you guys doing? We are just doing some shiny hunting for... Well, presently we're hunting for Diglett because we actually got both Toedscool. We actually got both Toedscool. And we had some time left over on our ground sandwich. So we just decided to shiny hunt Diglett because we actually still need to get Diglett's shiny for the living shiny dex. Here we go. And after this sandwich ends, we are actually going to be going and shiny hunting Cyndaquil again. This is how the shiny hunting going. We're playing more of Kingdom Hearts 3 and completing more. Nice. I have never played. I don't know a thing about Kingdom Hearts. So I have absolutely no idea what any of that means. But I take it that's a good. Nope, no blue nose. I don't want to wait. Just go into hibernation, Mudkip, for like 3 weeks, and then Tears of the Kingdom will be out. Just hibernate for a while, Mudkip, and then Tears of the Kingdom will be out by the time you wake up. I think it was 12 when the game came out, because the game actually came out around my birthday. Very funny game, highly recommend, especially if you like Disney. I know it's like Final Fantasy with Disney characters. That was how the game was described to me many, many moons ago. I saw Rosie. I saw Rosie. You didn't explain why. Welcome back, Omar. You missed a raid. Yeah, Mudkip, Omar has taken over for you for every time you would get up to get a drink of water, someone raided. Omar has basically inherited that flag. Kingdom Hearts, how much it means to you. Wow. Yeah, all I know is like, you have Final Fantasy characters, and then there's Disney characters, and Sora is apparently in the game, and that's where he's from. Both black 2 and white 2. Interesting. But yeah, I don't think if and when they release black and white remakes, or if they do, they're gonna be. I think they're gonna both be $60. Kinda sucks. Yeah, I am. Honestly, I am wondering what they are gonna do, because I've seen so many things about like they're gonna do black and white. Like, I think that if they're gonna do anything, they're just gonna release black and white, because black and white remakes for the Switch when it comes time for that. If they do, I can very realistically see them not making remakes for black and white. I can realistically see that. But in terms of, hypothetically, if we do get, a Unova game, the most likely one is, I see they release a black and white remake. Then a distant second, most likely, I see them releasing black 2 and white 2. So only black and white for the first one, then only black 2, white 2 for the second one. The distant third most likely, I see them releasing both black 2 and white 2 and black and white as separate games, I don't see a realistic world where they do like Black and White 2. They do like a Black 2 and White 2 smashed into a singular game. I don't realistically see that as a possibility, just based on how intensive that would be to actually program the entire thing. It would literally be hemorrhaging money to do something like that. I've seen the remakes, we won't get Black 2 until... The thing is, Best, the chibi style was actually done because that actually was the style of the original Diamond and Pearl games. It's just a little bit, because the chibi style was actually the style all of the Pokemon games were in until Black 2 and White 2. And even then, Black and White actually does have technically chibi style. Because chibi style is like, essentially just like, you know, like super deformed, I think is the technical name for it. Where you have, you know, the smaller body and just like oversized head of the characters. So technically Black and White and Black 2 White 2 are inherently chibi style. And actually kind of continued up until Sun and Moon, where the chibi style in all forms actually dropped. But that's the reason it was actually held in BDSP, is they were being faithful to the original art style of the game, just updating it to be, you know, 3D higher definition. Which is why likely if we, you know, do get Black 2, White 2, or, well, not Black 2, if we do get, you know, Unova remakes in general, the art style is likely going to be more in line with what, say, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire was, where technically that is still chibi art style, because, you know, again, oversized head, you know, proportionally much smaller body, which is technically what chibi is. It's just not to the same exaggerated degree it was in the BDSP games. It's a website, not the app. That's really, really weird. It's very weird. The funny thing is, Pokemon didn't even make BDSP. You gotta remember that. Is it iCal or Ilka? I forget the actual name of the company. They were actually the ones that made BDSP. It actually wasn't Game Freak that made it. Likely they were actually focusing on Legends and, well, this game. The funny thing is, Polytoad, they actually are the same thing as what Diamond and Pearl was, just actually updated. Like, that's the interesting thing. BDSP is every inch Diamond and Pearl, but it is Diamond and Pearl with a lot of quality of life updates. So, in a very weird way, it's kind of the best version of Sinnoh there is. It doesn't have the aesthetics of Platinum. Like, because most of what Platinum included in terms of a functional standpoint, BDSP actually included. By that I mean it included, you know, the Gym Leader rematches, it included the Platinum Elite Four teams, it included... yeah, Platinum Elite Four teams, it included the Dex expansions with the Grand Underground. The thing is, it included basically everything Platinum had, minus the aesthetics. Which is interesting. But the higher-ups of the game and control. I mean, the other important thing to remember about BDSP is, there was never going to be a chance in the world that even if they made Platinum as a remake, it would never have been well received. Because remember, nostalgia is an incredibly powerful thing. A lot of us do tend to forget how bad Generation 4 actually was, and even if they did remake Platinum, it still would have been 99% the same exact game we actually got. The difference is it would have had the Platinum coat of paint thrown over it. Which, I mean, if a coat of paint essentially makes a game go from bad to good, I think some things need to be re-examined. They were gonna make a heart. Remake you. We believe said they were gonna try and make a heart gold remake. Interesting. But yeah, realistically speaking, there was never a chance in the world that BDSP was ever gonna be well received, especially when they already announced Legends was gonna be coming. So it was kind of nostalgia goggles being shattered, mixed with the knowledge a better game is on the way, and then not really enough time to fully process BDSP, all kind of put together, like, it never had a chance. There was basically no world where BDSP would ever have been well received. Which I kind of find funny. Realistically speaking, I can actually see a hard gold remake using BDSP. That would be interesting. But I don't think... It'll be interesting if we get Johto remakes. It would be interesting. I don't think it's going to happen, but it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, there was realistically not a chance in the world BDSP ever had a chance of succeeding. Do I think BDSP is a great game? No. Do I think it did good with what it was given and the limiting it had to work around? Yes. Like, there were a lot of issues that game had to overcome, and it didn't overcome all of them. It was too faithful. It was faithful to a fault. Well, all we can do right now is wait for Mr. Butterfree to get that fan-made. I don't really do fan-made games. Fan games are really not something I play, and granted, a large part of that is because I have played a few fan games, and they kind of left a bit of a bad taste in my mouth. But, to each their own. Unless the Pokemon Company has something good in the oven. I'm not sure if they ever will do. Again, it would be interesting if they get Generation 2 remakes, but I don't think it will happen. Let's Go was technically a remake of Generation 1, but Let's Go also had a very, very different purpose. Let's Go was... Legends was much more of a nostalgia hook, as well as to bring in the audience from Pokemon Go and slowly ease them into the main continuity of Pokemon. It was never really a game for us long-term, like long-time players. It was made for the newer audience, essentially. Which is why it's a bit of a different ball game altogether. It also was a remake of Yellow. Yeah. Yeah, Let's Go has a very different purpose than, you know, the remakes like, say, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, then Heart Gold Soul Silver. A lot like in the same vein of, like, Legends as a game is actually a very different purpose than a lot of the other Pokemon games. It's one of the reasons why I would love to see more Legends games, but it's why I would not be surprised if we actually never do see more Legends games, because Legends Arceus felt, unfortunately, very prototype Scarlet Violet. And this is, like, the thing I've had, like, in the back of my mind, like I have mentioned and, like, voiced a bit before, is I think they made Legends almost as a little bit of a tech demo for this game to, like, you know, test a lot of the mechanics, see how far they could push the bounds, you know, before they release a full-scale scope game like this. And, you know, I feel that kind of by sort of tragic circumstances, it will be consigned into being its own one-off anomaly, which is unfortunate. It's a really interesting idea for a game. Let's Go should never be compared. Thank you! Thank you, Nafy. Someone else that says this. What I mean is mostly is that, like, Legends is a fairly bare-bones game. When you really think about it, it's more bare bones than really even something like Let's Go. Because one of my old videos I actually was working on, and I actually scrapped. I actually scrapped this. I scrapped this probably 6 months ago. Was basically like a reevaluation of Legends Arceus as an actual game for the series, and like really comparing it to, in terms of the way that it actually plays far more like Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee than, you know, a lot of the other games. Let's focus on, yeah, just go and just catch a whole bunch of Pokemon, with battles being almost a non-focus of the game. The focus is much more on collecting rather than actually battling. The thing is, Nafi, though, despite I do like the sentiment, officially they have said that Let's Go is mainline. They have said officially Let's Go is a mainline game. However, the purpose of Let's Go was to be an introductory hook for the Let's Go play from the Pokemon Go player base, as well as, again, to reacquaint the older players who maybe stopped playing after the first 2 gens to get reacquainted back to the series without being, you know, fully complete complexity. That's one thing, like, I stick with, like, the official standpoints on things are, just because, like, yeah, the official standpoints are the official standpoints. But yeah, my big worry is that Legends was kind of made tech demo-y, and, like, that's a big worry I have. Because I would like to see more of them, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up never seeing, you know, future Legends games, because again, it comes off more than a little tech demo-y, and a lot of the issues I think that this game has itself actually were present back in Legends. It's just, well, with Legends, there's a few factors that kind of help disguise them. One of the main ones is that when a new piece of media comes out, consumers kind of have this, like, switch in our heads where we do not allow ourselves to see the negative aspects of a heavily revolutionary game. Never considered it, though, because it doesn't follow the same formula as Pokemon games, so I might as well. I know they have officially said that it is a mainline game. I do like Let's Go. Yeah, I like Let's Go as a game. But the thing is, I recognize it's not meant to be in, like, the same vein as the rest of the series. It's meant to be its own style of thing. It is meant to be an introduction from newer players to the series. Because, again, this is one thing about Pokemon that I love, but also one of the things I really hate about it, because it makes it very hard for new players to come in. These games are really freaking complex. There are so many mechanics, so many little ins and outs. It is extremely overwhelming for new players. And Let's Go was a great game for that. You know, you don't have abilities. You don't have held items. You don't have, you know, 900 Pokemon to pick from. It's back to basics. It's simple. That's the reason why, like, for the first, like, 4 or 5 gyms, you have to do specific things to, you know, unlock them. Like, you have to have a grass type in order to fight Brock. Yeah, it's annoying to us as the, you know, older audience, because, you know, we've been playing these games for years. We know type matchups. But newer players don't really know type matchups that well. Why is that full EV Garchomp plus Hyper Training can't out people? Yeah, it can't. Yeah, same thing actually for Kartana. Fluttermane outspeeds Kartana no matter what. Well, assuming it's a fully EV'd Flutter. Fluttermane is insanely fast. Yeah. Like, the thing is, people do, like, Assault Vest Poison Jab, Terra Poison Garchomp, or like Scarf, Terra Poison Garchomp to beat Fluttermane because they all basically all Terra into Fairy. Yeah. Again, the hand-holding of Let's Go annoys us, as, you know, the older audiences, but to newer players, it is a very big help. Which is why, like, I don't really have an issue with it, because, like, yeah, it's meant, I look at it from the mindset of, you know, someone who's very unfamiliar, because I know the mechanics very well. I do a lot of competitive, so I'm very intimately familiar with the complex nature of Pokemon's mechanics. But I also know most people do not know most of these mechanics. Like, there are people that I did, like, you know, Terra Raids with, you know, not Terra, Dynamax Adventures with. And, you know, I was, like, explaining how terrains work to them. Because they don't know how, like, they know, oh, yeah, terrains, like, you know, they affect these things. But they're not, like, you know, like, they have, like, you know, act, like, 17 different effects. Yeah, I remember the Pokeball Plus. Because, let's see, where is it? Where is my... I actually have a Pokeball Plus, and where the heck is it? I actually had my Pokeball Plus, like, right near me. And I actually really want to go grab it now that you mentioned it. Where is it? It's over here somewhere. I had it around here. Did I find the drawer? I'm not thinking... Where the freak is my Pokeball Plus? Like, I have a Pokeball Plus. So I used to play Pokemon Go. Only once we found out that toxic... Yeah. Exactly, Nafy. That is exactly my point. There are all kinds of little mechanics that even a lot of the veteran players don't really even know about. Which is why, like, the way Let's Go handled, you know, easing people into things, I actually really like, yes, for us experienced players, it's annoyingly handholdy. But we kind of also need to pull our heads out of our butts when it comes to that, because we are not the only audience for the games. You know, these are games that are also played, you know, very heavily by kids who don't know this stuff. I would say it depends on the Pokemon using it, that dude. It is very dependent on what the Pokemon itself is. I didn't think... I'm pretty sure it is Shiny Locked. I'm pretty sure it actually was Shiny Locked. Because generally gift mythicals have been Shiny Locked. Well, the thing is, you only get one from it. Because, like, I actually did try resetting mine to get a good nature. But I couldn't actually reset it, because I'm pretty sure the game automatically saves right after you download the Mew off of it. So, I don't think you could even soft reset for it. Where is my Pokeball Plus? I had it over here somewhere. That is... I'm gonna need to tear my room apart looking for that thing later. Like, I had... Oh, there it is! I'm blind. I'm freaking blind. There's the Pokeball Plus. It was literally on my nightstand. I'm an idiot. But yeah, I have the Pokeball Plus. I actually got that for two reasons. One, because, like, I love the Pokewalker accessory for Heart Gold, Soul Silver. That was a great thing. And I was like, oh, this is like the Pokeball... This is like the Pokewalker, but, like, new. It was a bit annoying to use the Pokeball Plus as a controller for Let's Go, though. It was a bit weird with the menus, but like it was neat. It was a nice novelty. I prefer using, of course, the Joy-Cons though when playing it, or handheld mode. Like, It is better. I do too. I have both of my Pokewalkers. Because I got both Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And I remember using those for the Let's Play. Because experience points in Johto is extremely tight. So I used the Pokewalker in a way to just basically get more levels quickly. Cause I mean, I also used to go running a lot, so it would help get me a whole lot of levels. You know, it would allow me to grind experience to level things up much faster than, you know, going to Victory Road and fighting the level like 27 whatever the hex, slowly eking my way to get experience points to level myself up to level like 47. Yeah. Heart Gold and Soul Silver actually were one of my first games, but they are actually two games that I don't really have a lot of nostalgia for. You know, this is like kind of the interesting thing with me in a lot of the like first games I ever played. I would say probably Clear Amulet would be best on the Garchomp, because that way you don't get intimidated. But granted, again, like, Intimidate isn't as common, so... I mean, again, I guess it really depends, like, the rest of what your team is, because, like, there might be another Pokemon that might also want Choice Scarf, there might be another Pokemon that also wants an AV. It kind of depends on the overall composition of your team. Where oh, there they are. Yeah. Pokewalker. I love these things. These things are great. Hey, Justin. Pokewalker was like one of the greatest things ever. I love that thing. I saw Omar. You don't need to post it again, Omar. I watched the premiere for that thing. I watched that thing within the first few minutes of him putting the video out, and I freaking called his starter. I knew he was gonna pick Tepig. I knew it. Because, like, there were so many, like, you know, no, he's not gonna pick this, he's gonna pick this, because this, he's like, no. He's going to pick it, because in his Black and White series, he used the other two. It was the only choice. Because he has said before, he doesn't like using, like, he does not like reusing Pokemon he has used before. So it's like, well, it's the only logical choice. Yeah. Vibing while shiny hunting down spars. We do a little bit of vibing. I can vibe with that. Really? Inteleon? Okay, so we have the next Terra Raid. It is not a Gen 3 starter. I already said that, dude. It depends on what the rest of the team is. I saw your thing, and I already said, it depends on what the team is. Because there could be other users of the Assault Vest. It does depend. But probably the Scarf? Next Terra Raid is Inteleon. That is going to be interesting. But I think it's going to be stupid easy to actually crack that one, because, like, Inteleon's going to be easy to crack. I was expecting either Gen 3 or Gen 4. Yeah, it depends on how much damage Garchomp does to Fluttermane and how much damage Garchomp takes from Fluttermane. Again, really, yeah, I just saw your ping. I just saw your message, Al. Let's go check out Inteleon stats. I'm probably gonna finish off the rest of Gen 8 and the last. Let's go check out Inteleon stats. So Inteleon's stat line. Yeah, Inteleon's stat line. Yeah, it's a glass cannon. I think that Inteleon might... Well, I mean, you're never going to want to use a fire type against this thing. Because, like, it's a water type. Unless that fire type is freaking Volcanion. You're never going to want to use Volcanion. You're never going to want to use a fire type, and you don't even have Volcanion in the game. I guess maybe? Maybe I can see Scovillain. I can maybe see Scovillain being semi-viable here. But Goldango I see as just being like the absolute legendary hero with support Haze from other Pokemon. King Gambit, yeah. The only thing about King Gambit I kind of worry about, though, is it doesn't have, like... It's bulky, but its special defense is, you know, not super stellar. I don't think Inteleon gets any fighting moves, though. Acrobatics, Cheerful Look, Sucker Punch, U-Turn, Liquidation, Soak, Hydro Miss, Chilling Water, Icy Wind, Mud Shot, Fling, Air Slash, Reflect, Light Screen. Really? It gets Swords Dance. That's... interesting. Why the hell does it get Fell Stinger? Why the hell does this thing get Fell Stinger? Yeah, I think realistically your best choice is gonna go, like... I guess, like, Iron Hands also wouldn't be too bad. But Iron Hands, I think, could be viable. But yeah, Gambity Phase, Annihilate. Like, okay, Annihilate could survive Shadow Ball. It also has an absolutely massive HP, Al. You have to remember, when it comes to bulk, the singular defense stat does not mean everything. After all, look at Shuckle. Absolutely colossal defense. But its HP is Garbo. But yeah, remember, the HP stat is really what makes it, like, Iron Hands super duper bulky. But I think Annihilate might honestly be the better pick here. Like, if it gets Air Cutter, then... oh, no, it doesn't get Ankle One, right? But, like, Cheerful Look, Defiant, Punch, Game. I think it's Annihilate. Like, I think Annihilate might be the way to go, because, like, it gets Shadow Ball, it gets Air moves, it gets Flying moves. But it also gets Dark and it gets Ghost moves for Goldango. Stat Purge for like 3 turns. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Inteleon does a Stat Purge, because they've been getting more aggressive with the Stat Purges. Oh, don't... oh, Amari Super. You haven't seen the Froakie shiny hunt. For Froakie, we are at 1,735 eggs for that one. This is barely half of what our worst one is so far. Until the Stat Purge pops off. That's the thing. The other thing is, Annihilate actually benefits from stat debuffing moves. Because remember, Defiant. Defiant procs. Because remember, Tearful Look. Tearful Look is the one that drops both physical and special attack, right? Because I know that both, like, Tearful Look and Baby Doll Eyes, both of them mix me up. And that means it'll proc Defiant twice. Yeah. Yeah, King Gambit also gets... The other thing is, King Gambit is also slow. That's the thing. King Gambit is relatively slow, whereas, you know, Annihilate gets Drain Punch, is the other thing. So, it can continuously regenerate its health. Which, I would say, is probably good for that. Yeah, I think Annihilate might be better just because, again, Drain Punch stab. But bulky-wise, King Gambit, I do agree, is, like, super duper good. I can do a stat investment. Yeah, but you also gotta remember, Al, you can use speed EVs. Alright, let's see. So, let me do a damage check. Damage calc. Damage calculator. I'm pretty sure with max EV investment, you actually outspeed the Inteleon. Inteleon, blank set, Annihilate, blank set, 252. Yeah. If you go max speed Annihilate, you actually outspeed the Inteleon. So you actually outpace it. You outspeed the Inteleon by 3 points if you go 252 speed. You don't need a Jolly Nature. You just need 252 speed EVs. And then you outpace the Inteleon. We're talking about Inteleon, that dude. We're not talking about Empoleon. Also, yes, it was very good in Sun and Moon Defiant. But Al, you forget, if it uses Icy Wind, that only strengthens Annihilate. Using Icy Wind only makes us stronger. If it uses Icy Wind, that's its detriment. Yeah. I mean, I think both Annihilate and King Gambit are going to be good, but I would put my money more on Annihilate just because, like, the sustain from Drain Punch, coupled with, like, that. Yeah. If you use it on your ally, it doesn't work. Ally-induced stat drops do not proc Defiant. But I'm glad you brought up Spicy Extract because I actually had a brainwave. What if you use Spicy Extract Scovillain? Because it's not using its physical attack stat. Like, yes, there are physical moves that Inteleon does get, but I highly doubt they will go a physical Inteleon. And it's a 2-stage boost to its physical attack. But it's got a -2 to physical defense. Which means punch, 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 punch. Air Cutter's damage is pathetic. Air Cutter is an extremely weak move. The only crit hacks it could probably do is Snipe Shot, though. As does Greninja with those. The thing is, Greninja's only setup move was Double Team. Yes, the next one is Inteleon. But also, guys, again, if you haven't done so already, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Remember, Al, Greninja's only setup move was Double Team, which is likely why they went with it. Inteleon has a few other setup moves. I mean, it's got Focus Energy. It's got... I think it gets Work Up? It has a few setup options. It gets double team, yes, but like everything gets double team. Let's see. Taunt, Snowscape, Endure, Fang, Air Cutter, Much Icy Wind, Swift, Facade, Acrobatic, Agility. We're not gonna use Agility. Cheerful Luck. Yeah. I don't think it's gonna do double team evasion hacks. It could. But I think that's gonna stick mostly with Greninja, because like Greninja doesn't get other debuffing moves, and it doesn't get buffing moves. At the very least, Inteleon does get like Focus Energy. So it has at the very least that going for it. Fell Stinger Inteleon. Okay, if it does Fell Stinger, I will accept that loss. What? Did it not? How did it not get Focus? Did it not? What? What? Did it lose Focus Energy this gen? Really? They took away Focus Energy. Interesting. I mean, I can still see them going with Snipe Shot. I can still see them going with Tearful Look, though. Yeah, I could realistically see Tearful Look on it. I don't think that Double Team is going to be as likely. Interesting. I mean, realistically, Sniper's damage boost really isn't that big when it comes to it. They really, they gutted crits in Generation 6. It's not 2.25, it's not 2.5, it's 2.25. Yeah, it's not 2.5. Also, Air Cutter is like pathetic damage. You gotta remember, Al. Air Cutter's damage is both weakened because it's a spread move, and it's 65 base power. Even a crit from that is really nothing. Yeah, Air Cutter is incredibly weak. You'd realistically be more afraid of Air Slash, but it isn't really that big of a worry. Because remember, Annihilate is bulky as crap. Hey, Film Master, how you doing? Can one of the mods please go grab Film Master's link, please? Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't think that it's going to be too hard to deal with. King Gambit is a very good safe option, but I think Annihilate is a better, like, faster option. Yeah, I know. But remember, hey, Al, remember, this thing can survive Shadow Ball from Stab on Ghost Terra Typhlosion. It can survive that from this. Al, like, if it can survive a Stab-boosted Shadow Ball, it can survive a non-Stab Shadow Ball. Annihilate has nothing to be afraid of. It is no way scared of this thing. Unless it is, like, spamming 3 moves in, you're fine. Because the only way that it actually outspeeds you to double Shadow Ball you is if it Icy Winds and then double Shadow Balls, which means you can Drain Punch with Defiant. Which means you're getting your health back. And if it doesn't, you still outspeed it, so you Drain Punch it before it attacks. So it's kind of like, either way, Annihilate wins unless it goes for, like, crit Shadow Ball after getting a special defense drop, which is incredibly luck-based. The thing is, it can still live 2 hits for it. You gotta remember, Al, it can survive 2 Shadow Balls that are non-stab Shadow Balls. Which means you then get off the Drain Punch, which means you recover your health then. The other thing with Typhlosion was Typhlosion did Eruption. Yes. It also lived Typhlosion's Shadow Ball. That's the big thing. It survived a more powerful Shadow Ball than Inteleon could ever hope to output. Again, it would need a crit Shadow Ball in order to deal with it. Yeah. Yeah. At most, Shadow Ball deals 49.8%. So even if it gets 2 max roll Shadow Balls, you are left with 2 health. You are left with... You are always hanging on 1 HP, even at your worst, unless it lands a crit. The thing is, it's Terra Ice, so we know it's not Ghost Terra. We know it is Terra Ice right now, so it can't possibly one-shot it. Yeah, but it should be at least one coming out with abilities or the dance ball. Abilities or the... Yeah, we were talking about that, Amari. King Gambit is also very good. Iron Hands, we also already discussed. It has a low special defense. By the way, what does Power Split work against? I have not tested Power Split. I would imagine it doesn't work because there are a few moves that actually are disabled when it comes to Terror Raids. I know one of them is like Parasong. But yeah, King Gambit and Annihilate I think are both good. I probably will lean on Annihilate more just because I do like Drain Punch. I think the only issue with Iron Hands would be setting up the Belly Drum. But if you can set up the Belly Drum into Drain Punches, you're absolutely good as golden. But I think the tricky part is setting up the Belly Drum in the first place. Start off with the shield like Pikachu. I don't think it's going to start off with a full HP shield like Pikachu did. The reason why they did the HP shield... No, not film. Because remember, Inteleon is normally a water type. It'll still have water moves. And that will completely destroy Skeletors. So you're going to want to be using either like Annihilate or King Gambit for this. But yeah, I'll do a little bit more studying. Yeah, I don't think Goldengo would be as good here because this is the funny thing. This is the funny thing, Al. You were worried about Shadow Ball hitting Annihilate, but Goldengo is also weak to Shadow Ball, and it's weak to Dark Pulse, and it doesn't have Defiant. It's kind of like the same conundrum. What is it now? Oh, wow. So we've been live for 2 hours. Okay. I think this is actually a good place to end off. I will get working on that video soon for Inteleon. But if you guys haven't done so already, please do not forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. We have a shiny giveaway that is going to be going on this weekend. And we're going to go on a raid. So let's go find someone to go raid right now, shall we? We got 2 shinies today, so that was good. We got 2 shiny Toedscool, which is necessary for our living shiny decks. Getting one step closer, one encounter at a time. Who is live right now? Who is live? We haven't rated Korai Nation in a good while. We haven't rated Korai Nation in a while. They're doing some Smash Bros right now. Yeah. Hey, Humberto. Can one of the mods please? We're actually just ending off right now. Hello there, Lionheart Plays. I'm doing very well. We actually just got 2 shinies today. You kind of came at the worst moment because we're ending off right now. But actually, Al, the thing that you mentioned right there, that's why I'm pretty sure Zacian in, like, Home has not actually been made compatible yet. Is specifically because they know if they added in Home, we would just clown on absolutely every single Terra raid boss with things like Mewtwo. So, like, likely, that's why Home has not been made compatible yet. But, Let's go give a raid to Korai Nation. They're playing Smash Bros right now. I will see you guys next time. Let's rock and roll.